What is going on, movie fans? Welcome to Apocalypse Movies. I am Jacob Bartley, and this is my review for The Big Sick. Now, if you haven't heard of this film, it's a smaller film, a comedy drama directed by Michael Showalter, and it stars, I'm going to mispronounce his name, but it's Kumail Nanjiani. It also stars Zoe Kazan, Holly Hunter, and Ray Romano. Those are probably the four main leads. Now, Kumail, if you didn't know this, this is a story based on his real relationship with his real girlfriend, Emily. And they kind of took that story and made a film out of this, and it's produced by Judd Apatow. So this movie was right up my alley because Judd Apatow films are some of my favorite comedies of all time, like The 40-Year-Old Virgin, Knocked Up. Even Funny People I really, really enjoy, and even movies that he produces and stuff like that, I'm always drawn to those films. That's my style of humor. So I was intrigued by this movie because of that and because of the true story. I also heard a lot of great things about it from YouTube reviewers and other movie critics that I follow, and I was just really excited to watch it because it was getting so much word of mouth. But everybody's talking about The Big Sick. Oh my god, it's amazing. Go check it out. Go check it out. I'm like, yeah, right. It can't be that great. Well, it's that great. This movie is amazing. Now, first, like I said earlier, this movie is my style of comedy. Like the dry humor, the awkward scenarios, the dialogue, simple dialogue between people in a quiet, closed setting. Those are the type of comedy situations that I love, and this has a ton of that in there. So the dialogue and the one-liners and the jokes all hit for me. But this movie is so much more than that. This movie gets deep on so many different levels. Like, on one hand, yes, it's a fun, raunchy, romantic comedy. On the other hand, it's a social commentary on race issues in America. So I just couldn't believe what I was watching. Like, it succeeds on so many different levels, on the comedy level, on the romance level, on the drama level, and on the social commentary level. And it just dives into all these little different things, and I was just blown away watching it, honestly. Like, 30 minutes into the film, I was like, oh my goodness, like, how did I not see this coming, especially with a Judd Apatow produced film? And I know he didn't direct this, but it feels like a Judd Apatow movie. It feels like a better version of Funny People surrounded in this true story about Kumail and his real life girlfriend who ended up getting sick. And I'm assuming the scenario played out very similar to the way the movie did. Of course, they're going to take a couple liberties here and there, but let me talk about some of the things that I loved. I did talk about a lot of things, but these are some specifics that I really loved. I thought some of the performances were amazing. I thought Kumail was great, and I've never seen him in anything. I mean, I've seen him in little tiny things here and there, but I've never seen a good chunk of him to judge him as an actor, and I thought he was really solid. He carried the whole movie. Zoe Kazan was amazing. I'm probably mispronouncing her name as well, even though it's pretty simple compared to Kumail's name, but she was adorable. When she was on screen, I was like drawn to her. She's amazing. Holly Hunt was amazing. Ray Romano was really good. The two performances that stand out to me, though, are Zoe Kazan and Holly Hunter. I thought they were amazing. Holly Hunter was great in this movie. She really played that concerned mother very well. Ray Romano played the laid-back father really well. Him and Kumail had a great chemistry on screen. All the cast had great chemistry on screen. So I really dug that. The way they portray, like, the Pakistan lifestyle in America and how the parents have certain expectations on the kids. Maybe the parents grew up in Pakistan, and in bringing their kids there, they expected them to stick to certain cultural things. And the way people and families deal with that was handled so well in this movie. And I have friends who deal with strict, cultural things within their families, different races and stuff like that, or different cultures. And I understand that because I see it a lot in my daily life with my friends. The way they portray that was very similar to other situations that I've seen in real life, and it felt so realistic. And some of the best scenes in this movie are with Kumail and with his on-screen family and them sitting at the dinner table together. Like, some of that stuff was hilarious, and I don't understand all of the cultural things that went into this movie, but the way they presented it to, like, a casual moviegoer was brilliant to me. The entire theater was cracking up the whole movie, and that's a good way to judge a comedy. Any movie really is the theater's reaction to it, the people in the theater reacting to it, but a comedy definitely, because you can just gauge it based on the laughter, and people were going insane with laughter in this movie. I thought it was hilarious, and so did everyone else. Now let me talk about some things that I thought were a little bit not as great as the rest of the movie. This movie's awesome, but there were a few things that did bother me. So this is not a spoiler. If you see in the trailer, you know the girlfriend Emily gets sick, right? So the movie starts off like the first 30 minutes or so, and it's great. You see them, great chemistry together. And then a little bit after that is when she gets sick, right? And she's missing from a big chunk of the movie. And some of my favorite parts of this movie were Kumail and Zoe's chemistry on screen. Like, they were great together, and her as a character, her performance is probably my favorite part of the movie. And she's missing from more than a third of the film. And I know that could be considered a spoiler. I apologize if you consider it that. I don't. But that's really took away some of the greatness of the film to me, because I was so in, and then I'm like, oh, what? Come on, bring her back. Also, the third act was not as strong as the first two acts. The first two acts set it up so damn well. The first two acts are perfect, honestly, other than the absence of Zoe Kazan in the second act for a little bit. That third act kind of just dragged on a little bit too long. Like, I feel like the movie could have ended at a certain point, it keeps going. Movie could have ended at another certain point, it keeps going. A movie could have ended at another point, and it keeps going. So I liked the ending, the ultimate ending, but the third act did drag on for a little bit too long. But overall, man, this is one of the best movies of the year. Like, there's a difference between favorite movies of the year and best of the year. I don't think this is going to end up in my top 10 movies of the year, because even right now, I have it like number 6 or 7, and there's so many more movies to come out this year. But I think it is going to be one of the top 10 best movies of the year. Now, I hope that is made clear that there's a difference between best and favorites. And I do think it's one of the top 3 best movies of the year. I probably have Logan, Baby Driver, and The Big Sick as probably the top 3 movies of the year. Not necessarily my favorites. Logan is my favorite movie of the year, but those are probably the best 3 movies of the year. So I definitely recommend The Big Sick, even if you're not interested in the true story or the cultural relevance that is trying to portray. It's just a great comedy. You're gonna laugh your ass off the whole time. So I definitely recommend The Big Sick. I'm going to give The Big Sick a huge 9.5 out of 10. Those small negatives that I mentioned are very little. Like, without those, it's almost a perfect film. So go out and check out The Big Sick. I highly recommend it. It's the best comedy of the year so far. And it's a drama comedy, but I consider this a comedy. Best of the year so far, without a doubt. All right, well, that's going to do it for my thoughts on The Big Sick. Thank you all for watching this review. I'm Jacob Bartley for Apocalypse Movies. As always, please hit that like button if you like this review. Subscribe to Apocalypse Movies if you like all things film. And let me know in the comment section what you think of The Big Sick, or what you're looking forward to, or what you thought of my review. Thanks again for watching. Until next time, take care.